Matt Snyder and Lewis Brinson for more. Guys, great to see you. Matt, let's start by zeroing in on this top five here. We'll pick on the Detroit Tigers, who come in at 2. What a journey, what a roller coaster this team has taken us on the past few months, but yet again knocking on the door of having the best record in baseball.
Yeah, they look great right now. Look, Tarek Skubal had probably 3 starts there where he didn't look like himself. He was just kind of good instead of dominant. Last start out, he's dominant. He was completely dominant, so he's back, and so are the Tigers. They've won 9 of their last 11 right now. Riley Green powering up, Spencer Torkelson hitting well. But the thing about the Tigers is when they're really going well, it's the supporting cast that's lifting up everybody. You're talking about like Jahmai Jones, Andy Ibanez. How about Dylan Dingler having a great season behind the plate? I've been saying for weeks, the American League is wide open because all of the top teams had stretches where they looked just terrible. Remember, the Tigers lost 12 of 13 in the middle of July. But I do think right now the Tigers and the Blue Jays have created some separation where they're kind of the clear-cut top 2 teams in the American League.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just with the Tigers, you look back at last year, you look the way that A.J. Hinch has these guys playing, it's carried over to this year, and it's been just a dominant force the entire year. I mean, they got a 10.5 game lead in the Central. That's pretty much done, right? So you look at the Tigers like Matt said, you got Torkelson, you got Green. I mean, Torkelson's on his way to hitting 35 homers. He looks like a perennial, 30 home run guy each year. Green has really come into his mold. You forget about Javi Baez down at that 9 spot and Gleyber Torres just doing his thing at the top of the order there. So they have a lot of good pieces that click. Again, A.J. Hinch has these guys just playing together, wanting everybody to contribute in different ways, and then that starting pitching in the bullpen. I have full confidence in the Detroit Tigers going into the playoffs.
Good to hear. We have the Phillies, you guys, here jumping 1 spot to 3. Lewis, I'll come to you on this one. Just how much confidence at this point now do you have in this team's World Series hopes, who now will be without ace Zach Wheeler?
Yeah, first and foremost, Zach Wheeler, terrible injury to him, going to be out 6 to 8 months. Really detrimental to him, also to the Phillies. But I think they'll be fine, in my opinion. Christopher Sanchez has been lights out. I see him a game 1 starter. Suarez has done exactly what Suarez needs to be doing over his last couple starts here, striking out more than 10 batters each start out. And then I believe in Luzardo, not just because he's a Broward product and he's a buddy of mine, but I think he can come into his mold, find his footing in the playoffs, now being on a contending team. I think their rotation is going to be fine, and we all know what that lineup can do with the Phillies, that veteran presence. You got Schwarber with 45 again. Harper going to do his thing in the playoffs. You know he likes to turn it up in the playoffs there. So I have complete confidence in the Phillies that they'll be able to get it done. We'll see later on in the playoffs if they can do their thing too.
Yeah, coming out of the trade deadline, I was asked to rank the teams in order of who had the best chance to win the World Series, and I put the Phillies number 1. And part of the reason for that was the top of that rotation with Wheeler, and then how good Christopher Sanchez is right now. He's an ace right now. Ranger Suarez, frontline starter right now. He was going to be their 3rd playoff starter. Well, you've got to move him up a notch. So you've got Sanchez as your ace, Ranger Suarez as the 2. Then you're looking at Aaron Nola. What version of him are you going to get? Jesus Luzardo. What version of him are you going to get? If they throw to their capability, they've got 4 frontline starters there. It's just hard to have a ton of confidence in Nola and Luzardo moving forward. We'll see. The interesting thing is, yes, this is a significant blow to the World Series chances, but they definitely still have a chance to win the World Series. They're still one of the best teams in baseball. Obviously, I ranked them 3rd, but they've raised the bar. Obviously, they're not the Dodgers, but they have raised the bar to the point that I think it would be a failure if they didn't at least make the World Series, or even if they didn't win the World Series, you might consider it a failure. So it's tough when you've raised the bar that high.
Most definitely. Let's go ahead and jump outside the top 5 here. We just showed you a look at the rankings. At 6 and 7, we have the Dodgers and the Padres. 2 teams, Matt, in the thick of this NL West brawl. Who do you really see separating themselves?
Well, first of all, I hate that there are no more head-to-head games between these two teams. That's terrible. I wish there was another series left. But I love how close it is. How about that? I mean, heading into the year, who would have ever thought the Dodgers would be tied for first place here as we're ready to turn the calendar September? Well, all we heard about how it was no fair. The Dodgers were too good. Nobody was even close to them. Well, here they are, locked up, tied with the Padres. The Padres have the easiest remaining schedule in baseball if you go by opponent winning percentage, but the Dodgers have a very, very easy schedule as well. Now, they have a lot of games against the Rockies. Both of them do, kind of dragging that down. But hey, that's what we go by, is the opponent's winning percentage. The Dodgers do have the tiebreaker here by virtue of winning the head-to-head series in the regular season. That might matter. This is going to be a really close race. I think the Dodgers prevail, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's the Padres because we need a little change here.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree there with Matt. I got the Padres ultimately winning the West. I love this team. I love what they did at the trade deadline. The moves of Liriano, the moves of O'Hearn, the moves of literally all the moves they did to enhance that bullpen that was already amazing. I got the Padres really, really taking it home and taking it to the Dodgers. Again, I am mad that there are no more head-to-head matchups in the regular season with the Dodgers, with the Padres. But I do see the Padres overtaking them. I just think their bullpen's too good. Their rotation is coming to fold. Even with Jackson Merrill out, I think Liriano has been a huge step in the right direction for them. And then Machado and Tatis and all those guys that follow, I think they're just going to follow suit, and I think they're going to overtake the Dodgers this year.
No more head-to-head matchups. We're all bummed about that, but 31 games remaining. The Padres, as you mentioned, Matt, with the easiest path. We'll see how it all shakes out there. Further down the rankings, Lewis, we find the Red Sox at 9, the Yankees at 10. What were your takeaways from the rivalry this weekend, though?
Man, I love the Red Sox. I love the Red Sox. Oh, I'm so sorry, Matt. I love the Red Sox. You can see my enthusiasm. I love the Red Sox there. They are just a team that just doesn't give up. Roman Anthony has really come into his mold there, signing that extension. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this league for a very long time, along with Bregman and Story as the kind of the gorilla glue of the veteran presence for this team. But this weekend series, man, they really took it to the Yankees. They're showing the Yankees that they're for real, that they're coming for them, and that they're going to make it. I think that they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs going forward.
All right, we'll see if you're correct there. Lastly, I do want to hit on the Royals here, Matt. Kind of lurking, only 3 games back of the final wild card spot. What's been the biggest contributing factor, though, for them going 9-4 over the past few weeks?
Well, they learned how to hit. They were one of the worst offensive teams in baseball earlier in the season, especially at home. They could not hit at home. All of a sudden, now the offense is going well. They're 28-18 since the start of July. You know Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be the main catalyst to everything. He didn't have near as much power at the start of this year as he did last year. Well, his power's back. Also, you've got Vinny Pasquantino with 10 home runs in August. They're getting good contributions up and down the lineup from guys like Adam Frazier, Kyle Isbell. But with that offense humming along, we know that they're going to have good pitching down the stretch. They're a legitimate threat to make a playoff run. I don't think they're going to make it, but they're definitely going to push those teams there at the back end of the playoffs, such as the Mariners, Yankees, Red Sox there for one of the wild card spots. The Royals are definitely going to push for it.
Guys, great stuff per usual. Another week, another MLB Power Rankings. You can find the full list over on CBSSports.com. Matt Snyder's MLB Power Rankings. As you take a look at some of the notable games going on tonight in the MLB, we talked a lot about those Phillies. They will be at the Mets tonight, 7:10 p.m. Eastern time. First pitch to the Padres with the easiest schedule remaining, 31 games left. We'll take on the Mariners at 9:40 Eastern time, and the Dodgers will see the Reds. Well, thanks so much for joining me the past hour here on CBS Sports HQ. It's been fun. I'm Jordan Giorgio. Don't go anywhere, though. More HQ on the other side.
All right, Dodgers Nation, buckle up, because things are already getting wild this offseason after a season full of ups and downs, injuries, bullpen chaos, and yeah, Michael Conforto just not living up to expectations. It looks like the Dodgers front office is ready to make some serious moves. And here's the bombshell. Byron Buxton. Yeah, that's right. The Platinum Glove, $100 million 5-tool superstar Byron Buxton could be wearing Dodger blue next year. Sources around the league are buzzing that the Dodgers are positioning themselves for an aggressive move, not just exploring a trade, but actually building a path to lock down Buxton and make him the spark this lineup desperately needs heading into 2026. Stick with me, because in this video we're breaking down what this could look like, the stats that prove why Buxton is a game changer, and what it would take to actually land him in LA. Let's start by keeping it real. Michael Conforto was supposed to be the steady veteran bat we needed in the outfield. Instead, he gave us a season that, well, let's just say it didn't meet the hype. He finished the year slashing .231, .308 to .392 with just 14 home runs and a WRC plus of 95. That's basically league average production, and when you're wearing Dodger blue, that just doesn't cut it. The front office knows we can't go into 2026 with the same holes in the lineup, especially when we've got teams like the Braves and Phillies getting stronger every year. Now let's talk about why Byron Buxton is the perfect solution. First off, his defense. The guy is a human highlight reel in center field. Platinum glove caliber, covering more ground than anybody else out there. If you've watched him play, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then there's the bat. In 2025, Buxton posted 22 home runs, an .835 OPS, and a .128 OPS plus, showing he can hit for power and get on base consistently when he's healthy. And that's the key, health. When Buxton is on the field, he's an MVP level talent. The Twins know it, the league knows it. And man, imagine adding that kind of athleticism and energy to a lineup that already has Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Will Smith. Buxton brings balance, speed on the bases, elite defense in the outfield, and a bat that makes pitchers sweat from pitch one. Now, here's where this rumor gets some serious legs. The Twins are in a weird spot. Ownership is exploring a sale of the franchise, and that means one thing: a rebuild is coming. Moving Buxton, who's entering the 4th year of his $100 million contract, would free up money and bring back top-tier prospects. And guess which team has one of the deepest farm systems in baseball? Yep, the Dodgers. Guys like Zyhir Hope and Jackson Ferris, 2 top 5 prospects in the organization, have been floated as potential centerpieces in a deal. Now, Buxton does have that no-trade clause, and during the season he made it clear he didn't want to leave Minnesota, but off-season talks are different. When you're looking at joining a perennial contender like the Dodgers, with the chance to compete for multiple rings, that's the kind of situation that can change a player's mind real quick. So here's my take. If the Dodgers are serious about adding Buxton, they need to do 2 things. Show him the vision, let him know he's not just a piece, but the piece that takes this roster from great to unstoppable. Pay the price in prospects, and yeah, it's gonna sting. Moving guys like Hope or Ferris isn't easy, but if you're talking about acquiring a player with Buxton's ceiling, that's the cost of doing business. This isn't about a rental. Buxton is under contract through 2028. That gives the Dodgers a chance to build around him and keep this championship window wide open. And let's not forget, the Dodgers have been willing to take calculated risks before. Remember the Mookie Betts trade? People said the same thing. Too many prospects, too risky. Now look at how that turned out. As a fan, I'm all in. Picture Buxton roaming center field at Dodger Stadium, robbing home runs, making those jaw-dropping catches, and then stepping into the box to drive in Mookie or Freddie. That's a Hollywood storyline waiting to happen. Yeah, injuries are always going to be a concern, but with our depth and flexibility, we can manage that risk. The upside here, it's championship caliber upside. So Dodgers Nation, what do you think? Is Byron Buxton the guy we should go all in for this offseason? Are you willing to move top prospects to make this happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate this. Smash that like button if you're ready to see Buxton in Dodger blue, and make sure to subscribe, because if this thing keeps heating up, you know we'll be covering every single update. This is Victor with latest Los Angeles Dodgers news, and like we always say, let's go Dodgers.